I was very gullible as a kid, and I believed a lot of really dumb things. And so this video, I'm going to talk about dumb things I believed about Pokemon games. When me and my brother played my gold version, we had all these theories about how to get Celebi or Mewtwo, and we tried them for ages. I was really convinced that early in the game I had come across a weird shrine in the forest, and not the little one that's actually there, but it was this big elaborate one. And I just had this fake memory about it, and so I was convinced that if I just tried hard enough to search in this tiny forest that I would find it again. This occupied me for a good while, because I am very good at getting lost. And this forest is not very big, at all. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in games or real life. It doesn't matter if it's a small area, I will get lost. And I'm useless at reading maps, so that doesn't help. Anyway, when I failed to find some magical shrine, I figured that there was a secret passage I needed to access somehow. And my brother believed this too, and we were really focused on this forest and finding Celebi for a long time. And obviously we had no clue how it actually worked. My brother was also really convinced that if he did just the right thing, he would open up the cave where we could go find Mewtwo. He would stand where it was supposed to be and try to use random items in the hope that something would happen. And yeah, we were focused on that for a long time. I also thought for a while that Eevee evolved into Umbreon or Espeon with the Sunstone or Moonstone, and I was really frustrated when it didn't work. Also, when I heard about the Missing No thing, I tried it on Gold version, and by tried it, I mean I just surfed around Cinnabar Island hoping to find it. I also thought that this Pokemon was called Pillow-Swine, and I figured it was because it was just soft like a pillow. Then on the anime, they called it Piloswine, and I was just like, oh. So fast forward a few years when Ruby and Sapphire came out. Me and my sister found these really ridiculous cheats online, and we actually tried some of them. I remember one said that if you breed a male Minun with a female Plusle, you get some new one that I think was supposed to be green. I don't know. Anyways, we fell for that and tried it. But there was this one set of fake cheats that has been burned into my mind for years, and I've never heard anybody talk about it. I don't even remember where we even found it. It was probably on some random forum somewhere, but it really stuck with me for some reason. I don't remember the details of how it was supposed to work, but the cheat was basically about finding these objects called the Fusion Rod, which I imagine is just like a metal rod, and the De-Evolution Stone. The Fusion Rod would apparently fuse two Pokemon together and create some weird hybrid, and the De-Evolution Stone would devolve Pokemon even beyond the baby stage. I remember we both thought this was really horrifying, but also intriguing. And I know we figured out pretty quick that it was fake, but I was just like, but imagine. I remember I thought the concept of the fusion rod was especially freaky because it was like merging two conscious beings into one. Also, I wondered what would happen if a Pokemon did devolve past the baby stage. For a while I was just like really fascinated with this concept for some reason, even though it was very obviously fake even to kid me. I remember years later, I was reading about old fake Pokemon cheats like the Mew truck thing, and I expected someone to mention the whole Fusion Rod and De-Evolution Stone thing, but there was nothing about it. And I remember Googling it, and I couldn't find anything. And it was just weird that this iconic memory that I remembered really vividly was just not a thing. It's just weird to think about now. Aside from that, I also fell for really stupid things like people saying that if you breed certain Pokemon, the fifth egg will be a shiny or something like that. I actually tried some of those. There's also this thing that happened, which I actually saw, where me and my cousin and sister were doing link battles with our old gold and silver versions, and really weird glitches would start happening. I remember one time my sister was battling herself, and the opponent was her with all her Pokemon, copying her every move, and she was supposed to be battling my cousin. Other times the Pokemon themselves would just get glitched, and they would appear as completely different Pokemon with gibberish names that went off the screen. For example, I had a Paris named Deny. and I think I had been trying to spell Denny when I named it. But anyways, I sent it out against my cousin, and it appeared as a fortress on my cousin's screen, and its name was just all this gibberish with deny at the end, and it was really strange. Those glitches happen somewhat frequently, and I think it had to do with the cable coming out. I think maybe that's what made me believe that all these ridiculous things were possible, because I saw so many weird things happen, but I don't know. Very glad that I figured out how to evolve Eevee into Umbreon fairly early on. Some of these other things I was stuck on for longer than I should have, but it's fun to think back on it.